The stage lights blaze across the vast America's Got Talent auditorium, reflecting off the golden AGT logo as the next contestant nervously steps into view. A hush falls over the crowd when a slender Filipino teenager, maybe 16 or 17, walks slowly to the center of the stage. He clutches the microphone with both hands, visibly trembling. His black shoes squeak against the glossy floor, and for a brief moment, he stares out into the sea of faces, thousands of them, waiting. Simon Cowell leans back in his chair, eyes sharp but curious. "What's your name?" he asks in that familiar tone, half challenge, half invitation. The boy swallows hard. "My name is Raphael, sir," he says softly, his Filipino accent clear. "I'm from the Philippines." A murmur ripples through the audience. Howie Mandel smiles warmly. "Welcome to America's Got Talent, Raphael. What will you be singing for us today?" The boy glances down, gathering his courage. "I'll sing Billie Jean by Michael Jackson." A surprised laugh runs through the audience. Even Simon raises an eyebrow. "That's a very big song," he says, leaning forward. "Let's see what you've got." The spotlight narrows to a single beam, bathing Raphael in pale gold. The crowd quiets again, you can almost hear the sound of his nervous breathing. His fingers tremble around the microphone as he takes one deep, steadying breath. The first few guitar notes play softly, stripped down and acoustic. Then, with eyes closed, Raphael begins to sing. His voice, unexpectedly soulful and haunting, fills the air, gentle at first, then stronger, more confident. In that instant, the audience forgets his age, his shyness, his accent. All they hear is the emotion in his voice, pure, raw, and unforgettable. The music drifts through the hall, soft, moody, almost unrecognizable from the original. It's Billie Jean, but slower, stripped to its bones, haunting in its simplicity. The audience leans forward, unsure what to expect. Then, the Filipino teen, Raphael, opens his mouth again, and the room changes. His voice is rich and soulful, the kind that seems to come from a place far beyond his years. There's a quiet strength in his tone, trembling slightly at first, then finding its rhythm. Each word lands with emotion. She was more like a beauty queen, from a movie scene. The crowd gasps, some whisper to each other, others simply watch in awe. Simon Cowell's face, once skeptical, begins to soften. His eyebrows lift, a faint smile forming at the corner of his mouth. He's heard thousands of covers of Billie Jean, but never like this. This isn't imitation, it's transformation. Raphael's voice grows steadier, each note blooming with emotion. His eyes are closed, his expression calm yet full of feeling. It's as if he's somewhere else, back home, maybe, remembering nights spent singing to a small radio, dreaming of this very moment. A woman in the front row wipes a tear. The judges exchange glances, even Sofia Vergara looks speechless. The simple guitar accompaniment lets his voice shine, raw, aching, powerful. The chorus arrives. Raphael opens his eyes, his voice rising, echoing through the hall. "Billie Jean is not my lover." The crowd erupts into applause mid-song, breaking the spell for only a second. But Raphael doesn't flinch, he's lost in the performance. By the time he reaches the second verse, his confidence has taken flight. The shy boy who walked onto the stage minutes ago has vanished, replaced by a true artist, commanding every heartbeat in the room. The energy inside the theater shifts completely. By now, every single person is locked in, no one dares to blink. Raphael's voice soars higher, deeper, filling every corner of the stage with emotion. What began as a simple audition has transformed into something electric, something spiritual. The camera pans slowly across the audience, people standing, phones raised, mouths open in disbelief. A little girl sways to the rhythm, an older man wipes away a tear. Even the crew members backstage pause their work, drawn to the sound echoing through the walls. Raphael steps slightly forward, no longer shy. His eyes open wide, his face glowing under the golden light. The words spill out of him as if they've lived inside his heart for years. People always told me, be careful what you do. His voice cracks slightly, but that imperfection only makes it more real. Simon Cowell leans forward, resting his chin on his hand, completely absorbed. Next to him, Heidi Klum whispers, "This is beautiful." Howie nods, his usual playfulness replaced by genuine admiration. The music builds. The acoustic guitar strums stronger, matching Raphael's newfound fire. The lights dim around him, isolating him in a single, brilliant beam of white. He raises one hand slightly, trembling, not from fear anymore, but from feeling. The final chorus bursts forth, "She says I am the one." The crowd joins in with claps and cheers. Raphael's voice carries pure emotion, trembling with pride and pain, as if every note tells the story of his journey from a small Filipino town to this colossal American stage. As the last line fades, there's a moment of silence. No music, no movement, just breathless awe. And then, like a tidal wave, the audience rises, cheering, screaming, applauding. The transformation is complete. The final note of Billie Jean hangs in the air like magic, soft, trembling, unforgettable. For a full second, the entire auditorium is frozen in silence. Then, without warning, the crowd explodes. The cheers are deafening. People leap to their feet, clapping and shouting his name. Some wave small Philippine flags, others simply stand in awe. Raphael lowers the microphone, breathing hard. His chest rises and falls as if he's just run a marathon. The lights glisten in his teary eyes. He looks around, overwhelmed, unsure if this is really happening. Simon Cowell, usually the toughest critic on the panel, stands slowly. His expression isn't sharp or judgmental, it's soft, thoughtful, almost proud. "Wow," he says simply, shaking his head. "That was unbelievable." The audience roars even louder. Heidi Klum claps her hands over her heart. "You just made everyone in this room feel something real," she says, her voice trembling. Howie adds, "You didn't just sing Billie Jean, you told your own story through it." Raphael bites his lip, tears now streaming freely down his face. thank you so much," he whispers, his voice barely audible through the noise. Simon glances down at the golden buzzer in front of him. For a moment, he hesitates. Then, with a faint smile, he presses it. A burst of golden confetti rains from the ceiling, shimmering in the stage lights. The music swells triumphantly as Raphael drops to his knees, covering his face in disbelief. The audience chants, "Raphael! Raphael!" Simon walks over, clapping slowly. "You've just made one of the greatest AGT moments," he says. Under the golden rain, Raphael looks up, crying, laughing, shining, his dream finally alive. Golden confetti still flutters through the air as Raphael steps off the stage, his hands trembling, his face wet with tears. The roar of the crowd fades behind him, replaced by the soft hum of laughter, crying, and cheering from backstage. He can barely breathe, not from nerves anymore, but from the weight of his dream finally coming true. The moment he crosses the curtain, his family rushes toward him. His mother wraps him in a tight embrace, her eyes shining with pride. "Anak," she whispers, "my child," her voice breaking. His younger sister clings to his leg, smiling through her tears, holding a small Philippine flag that waves softly under the studio lights. "I did it, Ma," Raphael says, still shaking. "I did it." From across the stage, Simon Cowell approaches, flanked by crew members and cameras. The crowd parts silently as Simon walks right up to Raphael. He doesn't speak right away, just looks him in the eyes, that same quiet smile still on his face. Then he says softly, "You have something very rare. That performance wasn't just good, it was real. Remember this moment, because the world will." Raphael nods, unable to find words. Simon gives him a brief, proud handshake before turning back toward the stage. The camera zooms in on Raphael, still surrounded by his family. Behind him, golden confetti drifts like falling stars. He looks up at the lights, then directly into the camera, voice trembling but full of joy, "This is for my family, and for the Philippines." As the scene fades out, slow-motion clips replay his performance, the trembling start, the soaring voice, the golden buzzer moment, set to the echo of his final note. The screen glows gold, the crowd's cheers lingering like a heartbeat that refuses to fade.